All right. All right, everyone. Well, welcome to our first Zoom meeting. Dr. Kleinstever and I have been arduously working on this course to get it up and running. I know there's been a few kinks here and there, but thank you for those of you who have reached out via email. We're happy to help and make adjustments as we go. Thank you for the grace that you guys have given us as we transition. We're in this together. We're learning as we go, and so thank you so much for your patience and for your flexibility as we go through this. So the point of our meeting today is to just review the 2 group assignments, since I know that was causing a little bit of anxiety how that's going to work. So we wanted to address that early on so that you all know what is the expectation and what you will be needing to do for those projects. They are one of the 2 bigger projects in the course, so that's why you want to make sure you have this in the slideshow, and everything that is in this PowerPoint is also on Canvas listed, but this is more kind of a quick at a glance way to see it, but everything that we have here is on Canvas as well, and both Dr. Kleinstever and I will go over that too on where to find it on Canvas after the PowerPoint. So let's go. We were going to say, if you have any questions as we're going, please use the chat feature that Zoom has. Hopefully everyone can access that fine. And then make sure that you leave it on everyone sharing so that so everyone can see the question, just in case someone else has the same question, we can address it. And then we will review any questions that we see in the chat at the end, okay? All right. So here, the first assignment, co-teaching teams collaborative group projects. So how will our group present is one of the main questions. Zoom is a great way to present. It will be in video format. And so we're saying Zoom, even though typically it's used for a live meeting like this, you can actually just host a Zoom meeting and record your screen. We are recommending that as an option just because it doesn't have any time limit. If you're a K-12 teacher, right now they're offering you no time restrictions, and it's free. So Dr. Kleinstever, do you want to just talk a little bit about what that's like? They don't really ask you for any verification.
Yeah, no, so they'll just ask, if you sign up, and they'll just ask what school you work at, what district, so you just can put that in, and then they're temporarily giving you the upgrade for free.
Yeah. So you can use that because you can record your screen, you can share your screen. So if you're gonna have a PowerPoint, you can do that. So that would be a good option. Screencast-O-Matic is something that I use a lot. The only negative is that it's only 15 minutes for free. You can always record multiple videos and then put them together in an iMovie. You can do that depending on how you're going to do that. So that's an option, but it is a free resource there as well. And then regardless of whatever platform you use, and again, these are just 2 options. There's so many different things that I'm sure you guys know about that might be even better. And just be creative. There's really no restriction in terms of what platform you use. But it is going to need to be a video. And Dr. Kleinstever let me know that for the best video quality, it's best to upload it to YouTube. So whatever platform you record it in, once you have your video ready, then you're going to upload it. We are recommending that you create a YouTube account. Maybe you have one already. And then you upload it to YouTube, and then you're going to submit your video links to us. And I put a little screenshot here of which is in week 5 under online co-teaching teams collaborative group project part 1 and 2. So that's where you will be submitting your video links. And in Canvas, I think the best way that you can do it is if you put it on some kind of Word document, paste the links there, because there's going to be 4 videos that you're going to need to submit. Paste the links there, and then we can access them that way. And then I'll continue to explain what else, why that's important to us, okay? So those are just some suggestions for you. There will need to be video presentations. Okay, so let me go over. So part 1 of the assignment will be submitted, will have to be submitted no later than April 23rd, Thursday, April 23rd by 4:30 p.m. And the deliverable for part 1 is that you will submit a YouTube link of your teaching whole group lesson video and a graphic representation synthesizing key points of the chapter. So we'll go over it in detail on Canvas in a second, what those specific requirements are. But essentially, part 1 is that you'll be teaching a 15-minute lesson as if you were teaching to a whole group. And so one part of that is that you do a co-teaching. 'Cause again, this is a co-teaching project. So with your group members, that's why we suggested Zoom, because in essence, you all could be, like you could see now, you all could be in the video and everyone could have their part co-teaching. So that's why we thought Zoom would be a great way of doing the co-teaching part of it. Okay. So that's for part 1. And again, we'll go over the details in a second on Canvas. I just want to go over the submission logistics in terms of what the deliverables are. So you have that at a glance. And that will be submitted on Canvas. Part 2 has to do with the stations. Again, as you guys learned this week, or if you haven't watched those videos yet, but you will be learning about the co-teaching methods, and one of the co-teaching methods is station teaching. So that was the part 2 requirement for this project, is that you will be teaching 15-minute mini lessons for a total of 3. So that means if there's 4 people in your group, one of the fourth person can partner up with another person, and they could co-teach a station, and then the other 2 people would be leading a station on their own. And so essentially you would have those 3 mini lesson videotaped. I did say on Canvas that if you have access to your kids or to any, your siblings or anybody at home, you can always videotape yourself doing the teaching to them. So that's an option instead of having to teach to a computer. So that would be totally acceptable if you have that. And then as part of the deliverables for this would be your YouTube links to the 3 videos for the station teachings, so the 3 station teachings, and then any pertinent materials that you have that have to do with your lesson. If you have worksheets, any type of hands-on materials that you use, realia, you can submit photos of all of that or PDFs of that in Canvas for part 2, okay? All right, and again, that's all going to be submitted in week 5 under Online Co-Teaching Teams Collaborative Group Project Part 1 and 2, okay? All right, and then we did want to emphasize that the sooner the better, of course, no pressure. You guys have until that Thursday, April 23rd at 4:30. But the reason why we would love to have it the sooner the better is because we're going to be uploading your video links to discussion boards. So each group essentially will have their own discussion board, and we will upload your respective video links, so the 4 video links on there, so that your peers can watch them. And then they're going to be giving you feedback within that discussion board on your lessons, and which is also part of your grade. So essentially each, as the audience, each class member will evaluate 3 groups. So you will be posting on 3 discussion boards as an individual person, okay? Let's see, anything else I missed? I don't think so. So as soon as we get each group's video links, we'll be able to publish your discussion board, and then it'll be live so for everyone to be able to give you feedback and fulfill that part of the assignment, okay? So then part 3 is what has to do with those discussion boards. So part 3, you will be submitting the following on Canvas, which is to each group's discussion board by Sunday, April 26th. 2020 by 11:59 p.m. So everybody will submit their video links by that Thursday, April 23rd, and then the following Sunday, you will have to have already watched everybody's videos and provided feedback for them through their own discussion board, through each group's discussion board. The deliverables for part 3 are that you will use the student grading rubric to allocate points for each group's presentation. And then you will upload that completed student grading rubric to each group's designated discussion board. Those of you who've had me for 6002, it's very similar to some the group projects that we've done in there. So when you see them, you'll be familiar with those. And then you will also have to provide a substantive narrative evaluation within each group's designated discussion board. So the student grading rubric is essentially you're just giving them numeric evaluation, and then in the discussion board, that's where we really want you to be specific, be very meaningful in your feedback that you give the group. Make sure it's constructive feedback for them to know what they can improve on in terms of focus on their instructional strategy that they model for you, and focus on the content, how they deliver it. And that's what feedback you're going to be giving them specific to their teaching, okay, within these video presentations, okay. So that's very important. That then again, that's all part of your grade for part 3 of this project. Okay, maybe let me look. I know I saw some questions come up about when I was doing that. Should we field those first for this project, Doctor, before I go into the next project?
Yeah, why don't we? Yeah, because we'll get too far away from what we're talking about.
Yeah. Trying to go back to the chat. There we go. Okay, I think you can also record through Zoom. Yeah. So that's why we suggested using the Zoom, especially for the whole group lesson, because when you are doing your whole group lesson, you can essentially be co-teaching like this. And then if you end up being in a station where there's 2 of you who would be teaching the station, then Zoom would be great because you can record it. But yeah, thank you for that. Any specific questions about this particular first project before I go into the next one? Okay. I'm thinking, Dr. Kleinsever, maybe we should go into Canvas, go over this assignment first on Canvas, and then I'll go into the strategies one.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I was going to go over that one, right?
The first part, right? Yes.
Yeah, the first part. Yes, and you'll go over part 3. Okay. So let me go down. So again, you're going to find the specific instructions in week 5, and these are all in your syllabus as well. Although we have made some updates given the online situation. So this is where you will find it in modules under week 5, online co-teaching teams collaborative group project, part 1 and 2. Go into that. Okay. So let's see. I'm just going to kind of read through. And so focusing on one of the chapters assigned pages. So these are the groups down here. So each of you already have signed up for your particular group. You're going to synthesize the key points and main ideas of the content, as well as demonstrate some of the strategies of your choice. So essentially you have 1 hour, meaning that you have 15 minutes for the whole group lesson, and then 3 15-minute stations, okay? So that's how that's gonna work. So part 1, so for your whole group lesson, you're essentially giving us a synopsis, synthesizing the key points from your assigned chapter. So whether that's chapter 13, 14, 15, or 15 it is split into 2. So please make note of that. If you signed up for the transition, you're only focusing on pages 402 to 408. If you signed up for science and social studies, you're only focusing on pages 375 through 402. Okay, so just be mindful of that because 15 is split into 2 groups. So basically you're synthesizing those key points, the strategies, all the different methodologies, concepts that are being presented in your assigned chapter, and you have 15 minutes to do so. There was, like I said, I've taught this class only face to face, and so I do a big emphasis on making it fun and engaging. Seeing this as you are teaching, you're teaching to students, right? And so just do your best. We're not gonna penalize you guys just because it's online and all of that, but do your best. And there's so many different things out in the internet on how to make it fun and engaging. So be creative. I do want to caution you, if you are going to use a PowerPoint, please don't be wordy. It shouldn't be slides full of information. Remember, the key is that you're synthesizing the information and sticking to the key points. What are those key areas that you're going to extract to make sure that we understand what that chapter is about? And so I just give you a little guiding question here. What are some of the main theories or concepts in teaching your particular subject area? So focus on that, okay? And then the other part of this for the whole group lesson is that you provide some kind of graphic representation that synthesizes the key points. So that might help you in planning when to teach this, because you have to synthesize the key points already in the handout, basically, that you would have given your classmates. So again, don't be wordy, and try to focus on what is the most important for your chapter. So it's a whole group lesson, and then there's a graphic representation that could be anywhere from like a diagram, it could be a concept map, it could be a brochure, some kind of graphic organizer, how you organize information. There's really no restriction on how you represent the information, okay? And like I mentioned, when I was going through the PowerPoint, team teaching is required to be demonstrated for part 1. So think about how the members of your group are going to have a part in that 15-minute whole group lesson, okay? And then that's where I say consider using Zoom video to do the team teaching, okay? And then we have the deliverable there again, remember, of your whole group lesson. Okay, so that's part 1. Any questions there? I saw one come in, I think. May our group just focus on social studies? And that's for chapter 15.
Yeah.
I would be okay with that. What do you think, Dr. Kleinsteiger? Or depending on the different strategies, I think, that are presented because sometimes it does show different strategies within that. Go ahead, Dr. Kleinsteiger. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Because I understand why they're asking that, because
subjects,
they're different subjects.
It's rather short though. That when you look at the pages, I can't forget which one. They emphasize more on one subject than the other. But maybe focus on one, but still mention whatever is important of the other particular subject. Maybe that's the way we'll approach it. Sorry, I saw another.
It's another one.
Does that make sense, Melissa? Does that answer your question? What do we use some strategies in the other subject in ours? So if there's, Melissa, you're asking if there's strategies, say in science,
that I wanted to bring over for our group to social science. Could we just say in social science, it would look like this? You know what I mean?
Yeah. If it makes sense to do that, I'm okay with that.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't want to totally shun the science one, but let's say we want to focus on social science, but just take those strategies over.
Yeah, and so I think the way we could, if you guys want to focus on social science specifically, still mention what's important from the science portion of it, highlight what's really, the key points there, even if it's briefly. And then, if it makes sense for some of the science strategies to be implemented to social science, I think that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And then Kindred, I think the content and strategies are recommended for both subjects. Okay, yeah.
That's what I was confused, because we're not teaching the we're not teaching like a lesson in social studies or science, like we're teaching about what we're reading, because like
For the whole group lesson, yeah.
it says like use a strategy for social studies and science, like it's basically kind of the strategies for either, right? Or am I confused?
No, yeah. And I'm thinking just when you teach it even in the stations, you're just modeling the strategies on using the content. So you could model the strategies using the social science content or model the strategies using the science content. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Any more questions? Part 1? Okay. Okay, part 2. So part 2, that's where the 15-minute mini lesson stations come into play. So you'll need to have three videos, 15-minute videos showcasing one instructional strategy per station. So for a total of 3 instructional strategies that you will be showcasing. Just depending on how many group members there are, there might be one station that needs to have 2 people co-teaching one station. So just keep that in mind, and then the other 2 stations will just be solos maybe. Okay, so just it depends how that works out, but just make sure that everybody has a part in teaching within the mini lesson stations. So demonstrate the use of manipulatives, realia, or other hands-on materials. I understand that, you guys are at home, maybe you don't have access to a lot. So again, be creative. We won't penalize you guys if for some reason you just don't have any materials, but I mean, there's so many things you can use. There's rocks outside, there's, rice or beans or whatever you have at home that can be used. If it makes sense to use with the instructional strategy, by all means, use whatever is within your grasp to make the lesson come to life. Then the lesson content can be any topic or skill within the subject area. So you're modeling the strategy, you're teaching us about the strategy using whatever content you were assigned to. So if it's in literacy, or if it's math, social science, or transition, etc. And this is where I mentioned earlier, if your group members have access to students, quote unquote, you may choose to record yourselves teaching these students as part of your 15-minute lesson. So if you have any siblings at home, cousins, anybody who's willing, even if it's adults, you can use other adults as your students. That's completely fine too. So that might make it more real and more substantive if you do that. Use at least one different instructional strategy presented in your chapter for each station, for a total of at least 3 different instructional strategies. Sometimes some of you might decide that you want to showcase 2 instructional strategies. If that makes sense and you're able to do it within the 15-minute time period, that's fine. Sometimes a few strategies can be combined, or kind of it makes sense to put them together. That's fine. You don't have to stick to only one instructional strategy, but be mindful of your time and be mindful that you only have the 15 minutes. And so think about what's going to how can I demonstrate this the best. Okay. And then make sure, again, we are teaching to this class is all about adaptations. So any suggested adaptations within your chapter, make sure that you are including those as part of when you're teaching your lesson. Okay, and within each station, make sure that you're demonstrating differentiation, being mindful of that, because again, this is a class about adaptations. So make sure that you are incorporating that as it makes sense. Okay. So then again, the deliverable is going to be 3 YouTube links for 3 15-minute mini lesson videos. Okay, and then any materials that you use, just take pictures of them and then upload them to Canvas. Sometimes it's easy. Canvas is a little funky sometimes, and it won't let you upload a lot of things sometimes. So if you want, you can put all the pictures in a PowerPoint or all pictures in a Word document from your lesson and just upload everything together. Okay. Any questions on part 2? Okay. And I didn't see any chats come in, so. Okay, now part 3. Dr. Kleinsteiger, do you want me to go over this and then you just go over the discussion board part?
Yeah, let's do that. And I'll go over the discussion. Did you post yours, or
What's that?
did you post them on your Canvas site?
They should be there.
But when I go over it, I'll go into my Canvas though. So
Okay. All right. So then part 3 is the self and peer review forms. So as a participant, you'll have the opportunity to provide feedback to each group on their presentation of the content and the graphic representation via the discussion board in week 5 module. So again, you're going to be providing feedback not just on their teaching, but also on that graphic that they develop to synthesize the points of their chapter. So make sure that we'll make sure that we have that up on the discussion board as well for you all to have access to. And then you will use a student grading rubric, which is linked here, and I'll go ahead and show that to you all really quick. So you're basically, make sure that you put your name on there, your date, then the member names, and the chapter that you are evaluating. And so essentially you're going to have 3 of these you're going to fill out, because remember, you're going to evaluate 3 groups. So you'll be filling out 1 per group, and you're basically just going to assign points right here on the right side. And this is only for numeric points. And then here I give you a reminder that we want meaningful, specific, and substantive written feedback within each group's designated discussion board. So that's where you're going to type in all your feedback. Okay, this is just for numerical evaluation here on your behalf. Okay, so that's the student rubric for you to see. And then the other part is just giving feedback on the discussion board, and both of those are due by Sunday, April 26th at 11:59 p.m. And then the second part of the peer review forms are that you're going to evaluate your own group members. So as you are meeting, this group meeting sign-in sheet is very important because if there's any issues, if there's anything that goes wrong when you guys are meeting, or people are not putting in effort, or they're not doing their part of the work, or any of that, I want you to document that here so we have some evidence, and that everybody who is present knows what's being typed in there, so that there's no concerns later on, or I need to have some kind of evidence to be able to lower someone's grade if there was an issue. But if you guys don't have any evidence, then I can't do anything about that, or Dr. Kleinsteiger can't do anything. So make sure that you are filling in any issues. If you want to attach, I've had students in the past who've had some trouble if students don't show up to the meetings or whatever. They've attached like text message conversations that they've tried to reach out, or email conversations that they tried to reach out and no response. So all of that can be attached here if there's any issues. Okay, but if there's any group member that receives a 3 or less within the rubric that is included in the peer and self-review form, then you have to provide me with some detailed description as to why that student is earning a 3 or less. Okay. And then whoever the group member is that receives those low scores, there has to be at least 2 or more people who feel that way. And then I will I will lower that student's grade by 10 points for the project. Okay. And then this is a group meeting sheet just for you to see. So pretty simple: meeting date, chapter, your assigned chapter that you're working on. Agreed upon meeting start time, adjourn time, group members who were absent, and then right here, please list any issues. Okay, so make sure for the signature, it could just be electronic signature. That's fine. Okay, and then this is a self and peer review form that you would be filling out for each other, for each actually, you'll submit one of these, and then everybody's names would be on here. So you just fill in the names up here in the gray part, fill in the names there, your name, and you will be self-evaluating as well. So your name and then your group member names, and then make sure that you answer these questions meaningfully as well, okay? because again, this is part of your reflection on how the project went. And so this is not going to be due until April 29th, Wednesday, April 29th. So the reason why it's not till the next Wednesday is because I want to give you a chance to review what the feedback that everybody's giving you in the discussion board. And then using that feedback, then you're going to reflect on how your group did, okay? And then this last part here is, here's our teacher grading rubric that you can view. And then this is just kind of a summary of everything that is due overall for part 1 and 2 and part 3. Okay. Any questions? Pretty clear, hopefully. Okay. All right, Dr. Kleinstaver, I will give it over to you if you want to go over specifically about the discussion boards.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, let me go back to here. Okay. So here, you guys see the campus up there? So here is what you guys see. This is student view. So if we go down to week 5, so first thing that I wanted to call your attention to is that, just in case people didn't know, here's how to create a YouTube account if you don't have one. So it's just a simple YouTube video to show you how to create a YouTube account and upload. And the reason, again, I said that we are doing this, we're requiring YouTube, is because in my day job, we've been doing trying to go to distant learning, and we found that if you upload different videos, the quality isn't as good. So going to YouTube makes the quality better for people to view. So it just basically is a video for you to do that, so you can create your YouTube account. And then back to modules. And then back down here to week, past it. Okay, so each one of these down here, you see each group has a discussion board. So here's the one for the group that's doing chapter 13, literacy. You click in there, so they all say the same thing, except they're different ones for each group. So this one is, so what it does is it sort of repeats some of the directions that we gave in the PowerPoint as well as in the assignment itself. So it just talks that the group that is teaching chapter 13 literacy show video, again, repeating the directions, 15-minute lessons. They will also video their 3 15-minute co-teaching method stations. The group will then upload these to the YouTube account that they created, and it says here, see how to create YouTube account in week 5 modules. One person in this group pastes all 4 links in a Word document and lists the group members' names. So that way, and then you're going to submit this document to the week 5 assignment modules online co-teaching team collaborative group project. So that way, we know who's in that group. We have the names of the list, and then we have the links that we're going to then post here. Okay, so it says right here, so that your professor may post the discussion board for all the candidates to view. The professor must receive the links for all 4 videos no later than April 23rd, 2020 at 4:30. And that's in order so that we can post them in the discussion board for all the other candidates to have time to view and provide the feedback. So then in this particular discussion board, so what will happen is that we'll receive the links for chapter 13 literacy, and then it will all be in here. And then for the people that are not in that group, so it says right here, all other candidates who are not teaching chapter 13 will view the whole 15-minute lessons and the 3 15-minute co-teaching stations using the links posted in this discussion board. So those will be posted once we receive in this discussion board. Okay, the links again posted soon after. So they're going to be posted soon after. So right now they're not posted. They won't be posted till we receive them. So soon after we receive them, on the 23rd. We'll post them in this discussion board. Okay, and then after you need to provide feedback to the Chapter 13 teaching group in the presentation content graphic representations via the discussion board here. So again, and here's the deliverables. Again, we're restating it. Okay, and there's a link here to the rubric that was shared earlier. Okay, to allocate the upload, complete the grading rubric to this discussion board. And then you're going to provide substantive narrative evaluation via this discussion board. And then 1 and 2 are due by the 26th at close to midnight. Okay, so I don't know if, did we get any questions on that so
I
far?
didn't see any come in. No.
Nope. Okay. So,
All right.
so basically, let's go back to here really quick. And so as you see, okay, so each one, so all of these are the same thing, except they're for each group. This is for group that has chapter 14, the one that has the first half of chapter 15, and the ones that have the second half of chapter 15.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions? Concerns?
Okay. I'll share my screen again so I can go over the next project.
Okay, let me stop sharing. Okay, it's all yours.
All right. All right. So let me go back to our PowerPoint. Okay. So the other project, which is your other partner project, group project, it's only with a partner, and that one is not as cumbersome. So let me minimize that. Okay, so the instructional assistive technology, how will our group present? In this particular project, we are going to present live. So we will have a scheduled Zoom meeting on week 7 on May 7th, 2020 at 4:30 p.m. And we're estimating that the live presentations will take about 2 hours of class time. Okay, so we will definitely make sure that on that day, it's mostly going to be, class time is going to be this, and then there'll be a very brief lecture on assistive technology as well, but you can expect that the chunk of your class time will just be this mostly. So we will have a scheduled live Zoom meeting on that day, so everybody's expected to attend so that they're able to present. Each candidate, even though you did this in groups, each person is supposed to present their own application, and you guys can choose which 2 applications you want to showcase, but each person is going to showcase one. So each candidate will have up to 5 minutes to present on the app that they choose to present to the class. And then that includes a demonstration on how it works. So depending on how you choose to do that, you can have us either, I'm just thinking probably the best thing to do is I don't know if you can show it on the screen maybe, or you can also have a pre-recorded video and we'll each share our screens as well. That could be an option. But basically the premise is that you're going to share the details of the app, which is guided by your summary fact sheet. So part of that assignment is that you're putting together a fact sheet with specific information that I will go over in Canvas. And you can do that using your fact sheet, or if you want to put together a slide presentation that has that, we can do that as well. But be prepared to share your screen as needed on that day. Okay. I saw a question come in.
Yeah.
Where are you? I have a time conflict from 4 to 5 with a class that I'm teaching through Zoom. Is there any way to have my group scheduled at 5:30 to 5:40? Let's talk, Dr. Brownson. I will maybe give you a call, and then we can talk and resolve that. Okay. All right. So that is the assignment in a gist, just in essentially how we're going to be presenting. And now let me go over how we will, the specifics about that assignment. Let me go back to modules.
I just wanted to say also that there'll be two separate, there'll be one Zoom class for each section. We won't be doing a group Zoom like we're doing now.
Yes.
Because there's no way we could get through everybody's.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for clarifying that, Dr. Clancy. Yeah, so I'll host my own Zoom meeting for my class, and then Dr. Clancy will host it. So this is going to be in week 7. This is where this assignment will be turned in. And if you go into the instructional assistive technology assignment, go into that. There's a part 1 and a part 2. The part 1 is basically you working with your partner, finding 15 different technology resources or applications that you can use to teach either content, and these are the areas in which you can find applications or technology resources to teach. So there would be anything that can demonstrate, help students demonstrate their thoughts or ideas or new understanding of a concept. It could be an application that helps them with peer feedback or peer review. It could be some kind of tech resource that helps them create presentations of or present information on some kind of different platform. Any apps that have to do with studying or test preparation. Any apps that increase student engagement or participation in class. Any apps, of course, that have to do with academics like math, reading, writing, any of the content areas, or any other content that you find an application that is useful for, you can present on that. But again, you need a total of 15 different technology resources. And let's see, design your own summary fact sheet to please include a description of the technology app. So then this is what your fact sheets should include. So a description of the technology app, the types of students that will benefit from the app, as well as how it can be utilized to assist with instruction, assessment, or engagement in your classroom. Okay, so that's what you'll be including in your summary fact sheet. You also may want to include whether it's a free resource or not. Sometimes there's apps that are awesome, but they might be too expensive, or sometimes there's apps that are amazing and they're free, which is great. So you could include that information there as well. And then the part 2 is each of you will choose one app to showcase in class. You each will present separately. Have copies of your summary fact sheet. You don't need to do that. You'll just need to submit that to me, and then I can make them available to people as well. And via email or on Canvas, I'll upload those. And then again, use your summary fact sheet to guide your brief presentation, or you can have all the information on a PowerPoint slide. Again, try not to be too wordy. Make it concise and clear within your PowerPoint presentation. And again, just kind of showcase how the app works, how people can, how they will use it, how they can use it. And then here's a rubric that is attached on there. And you know what, I noticed a discrepancy here. It's actually should be 16 apps because it's it should be 16. So I'm gonna change that really quick right now. I saw that it said 15. It should be 16. Okay. All right, and then now let me check the chat to make sure. Okay, I'll take a look, Kindred, and see. Let me take a screenshot of this and make that clarification. So there's a discrepancy. You're saying there's a discrepancy between the syllabus and the lecture. Okay. I'll look
Yeah,
at.
so like the end page of the lecture says week 4. That's what I'm talking about. Mhm.
Okay, I'll check that and I'll send out an announcement.
Thank you.
We'll both send out an
Yeah,
announcement.
I took a screenshot of it too, so I'll check.
Okay. It might have been because we moved things down, because of that extra week that we started classes later. There's probably confusion with that. Okay.
Because we sort of lost a week there.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe there is something mix up there. But thank you for letting us know. We'll check and we'll post an announcement too to see what we can do for that. Okay, any questions on the instructional assistive technology assignment? Okay. All right. Well, anything else, Dr. Kleinsaver, that you'd like to share?
Well, there's only like 13. Okay. I wanted to let them know that, and I sent out an announcement that I should have all their submissions graded by the end of this weekend so that they get some feedback.
Okay. Yeah, same here. Thank you guys so much for joining. And for those of you who aren't able to join, well, this is going to be recorded. I don't know why. You can't hear me. This will be recorded. Okay, so thank you all. And again, please feel free to reach out via email. We're happy to help and answer any questions. So sorry for any confusions with stuff like this with the syllabus and all of this. And we're both
Thank
trying
you.
to keep our heads around everything. Thank you so much for your grace that you're giving us.
Yes.
Because it's definitely been a whirlwind. And so we thank you for your patience and your flexibility, like I said in the beginning, and we're here to help. So we're doing this together as we go. So thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you guys for sure on week 7. As we're going week by week, Dr. Kleinsaver and I might decide to have another Zoom meeting. So please just make sure that you have that 4:30 to 9 time slot open. We'll never take the whole time. We won't force you to do that.
No way.
Just in case we need to meet again, just make sure we'll always schedule it during class time. So thank you, and nice seeing some faces.
Yes. Everybody take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.